Hello, this is Sean Copeland, Chairman and CEO of Regent Bank, and we are in a new series in Regent Elevate this week, and we are talking about a life management system called the Priority Promise. This is a system in which you can prioritize the things that are most important to you, you can live those priorities, and you can hold yourself accountable. So again, just a really quick review. We've talked about number one, listing all the roles that we play: personal, professional, community, family. Then we've talked about allocating a rating, a priority rating to each of those roles. Which one is critically important? A. Which one is important but not critical to my life? B. Which one could I do without? C. Then we took all of those roles and we placed a time requirement next to each. Well, how much time do I need to spend with my wife each week? How much time with my kids? How much time reading? How much time exercising? How much time in marketing and business development? So we're basically going to take all my roles and give a time constraint. And now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how do we put those roles on our calendar. This is what is critical, because it's all great to have goals, but unless you get it on your calendar and specifically allocate time toward it, you're probably not going to spend time doing it. And what happens is certain roles in our life just become neglected. So for me, for years, my work roles got great attention. I was spending a ton of time on work. I was excelling at work, but what about the husband role? What about the dad role? What about the grandson role, the brother role, the son role? None of those. The friend role, I wasn't reaching out to my buddies. So it's very easy for certain roles to be completely forgotten. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to place them on our calendar. Let me just give you some examples just within my life. So one of my non-negotiable roles is I want to have a quiet time. I want to have a time with God every morning. So I do that every morning between 4 and 4:45. I'm in the Word, I'm praying, I'm preparing for a daily devotional we do, I'm working through my discipleship group, some of the readings we have there. That's what I do at 4:45. 4:45 to 5, I stop and prepare for the day. I just take 15 minutes to make sure I know I'm meeting all of my priorities for that day. Another non-negotiable for me is working out. So every day from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., I do some type of exercise. It might be taekwondo, riding bikes, jogging, whatever it may be, every morning, 5 to 6, because those are A, priorities for me. Then I eat breakfast with the kids. So I have certain daily requirements. Then I have certain weekly requirements. So on Wednesday afternoons, for example, I spend 1 hour calling our VIP clients. I spend 1 hour making Secretary of Commerce calls to prospects for the state of Oklahoma. I spend 1 hour making prospect calls for the bank. So these are important, and I've got them blocked on my calendar weekly. Friday afternoons, I spend a couple of hours in reading and strategy time because I want to stay ahead of the game and make sure I'm bringing new ideas to the table for the bank. 3 hours per week we allocate to do speeches, to do speaking. No more than 3, because that's all that I can fit in. I spend a certain amount of time checking in with my team, making sure they're doing okay. Then I have certain monthly goals, for example. So once a month, I put on my calendar to go down and see my grandparents. Once a month, I make sure to go see my mom and dad. Once a month, I make sure to connect with my sister and go see her. This isn't something that I can really calendar every week, but it keeps me connected with my family members, and I try to do it every month. This is going to be different for each person. What amount of time, how frequent, it's all up to you, but making sure that you get it on your calendar and continue to prioritize it is very, very important. So next week we're going to close out this series by talking about how do we hold ourselves accountable? How do we make sure that we are really living the priorities that we want to live? We'll talk about that and wrap up the series next week. Thank you so much.